Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back. It is BeauMovation time. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm excited. So while you're here, please do click the subscribe button. Let your friends know to click the subscribe button. Today's video is really simple. It is a brow shaping tutorial, which is again simple. You know I like to keep it simple. And it is also touching on do not let people undermine you because of your circumstances. We've all been there, whether as the doer or the receiver of the treatment. We sometimes undermine people because of their circumstances, and we let people undermine us because of our circumstances. So do enjoy this video, and guys, please let me know if you would like me to do videos that are full-on classical tutorial style. By that I mean where I literally talk about what I'm doing and the products that I'm using. Thank you again for tuning in. Enjoy this tutorial as well as the topic. It is BeauMovation time. It's time to shine from the inside out. Nothing on my face, just moisturizer. And as I mentioned, the topic for today is do not let people define you by your background. And that is so important because those are the things that, and when I say those are the things, I mean people defining you by a background. Those are the things that break people. And those are the things that cause a mental limit, you know, in people's minds. It's things that cause a mental block in people's minds when people are told that you can only go so far because of the background that you come from. I'll give you a typical example. You know that at times you will obviously, maybe let's say, be going through a rough patch. Maybe your family is going through a rough patch. Maybe you are going through a rough patch. But let's use family as an example. The main reason I want to use family is because, you know, family determines a lot. You are known by your family name, you are known by your family background. And oftentimes, especially in a country like South Africa, not all families and not a lot of families, you know, have it good. Not a lot of families have resource, not a lot of families have support, not a lot of families you know, stable. Not a lot of families are progressive, and these are the things. This is just the reality of life. So oftentimes, myself included, we find ourselves in a situation that our backgrounds are not extremely amazing. Our backgrounds are not extremely, you know, stable, and we just have to kind of pull through. And whilst your background is not amazing, whilst your life is you know, is not yet or is not set in motion as you would like it to, where you don't have the podium or the pedestal, or you don't have access to a whole lot of things and you want to get there, you will meet people along the way who are going to remind you that wena phela, you're from this type of family, or you're from this type of background, therefore you should not dream too much, or you should not dream too high. Never allow that. Never, ever, ever allow that. And the main reason for this video, or let me say one of the reasons for this video, is so that you actually can be cognizant of such behavior or such energy from people, where people want to remind you, Uguti, because you come from a certain family, or because you do not come from a certain family, certain things are not meant for you, or certain things you cannot have. Say, for example, you come from a family whereby, you know, there's poverty, there's challenges, you know, guys, the things that I'm talking about, things that are just there to block you from getting to your next level, or things that just make it impossible for you to get to the next level. So let's say you come from that family, and then one time you are either talking to a friend, or you're talking to a relative, or you're just talking to someone, and you say to them, you know what, my first car is going to be a Mercedes, you know, because we do dream and we should dream. My first car is going to be a Mercedes, and I'll be staying at such and such a place, and, you know, just dreaming with your mouth. And then that person basically just says, how? Kanjani? How are you going to do it? And they don't mean it in a way that they're engaging or interrogating you constructively or positively. They're literally just basically telling you, a person like you cannot. Stay away from those people and be mindful of those people, because those people are dream killers. But more than anything, those people are judging your capability, or they are measuring your capability based on your background, because they would not certainly say that, let's say, to someone who's rich or someone who comes from a well-off family or someone who comes from, a good family. They wouldn't question that. But because you come from, let's say, a particular background, or you come from an unfortunate, or you are in an unfortunate position or circumstance, they then question how you think you're going to do that. And like I said, this is not the questioning that is engaging, constructive, because there's a big difference if someone says, oh, my friend, really? So how do you think you can achieve this? What are you going to do? How do you think you can move from, you know what I'm talking about, that type of engagement. And there's a huge difference between someone saying, oh, really? Wena, in this position, ganjani, guphi, ginuguso, type of thing. And you need to be very careful of those people. You need to be very careful. I always call them the devil's whisperers, because they're doing the devil's job. Remember, the devil will always remind you how incapable you are. The devil will always remind you how you are not able to. The devil will always remind you of your circumstances. The devil will always remind you of the fact that your dad, your mom, your uncle, whoever, your boyfriend, you even yourself, you're a drunkard, therefore, or you are lacking A, B, C qualities, therefore you can't achieve such a thing. That's the devil's job. But obviously, you are not going to see the devil come down, You're not going to see an actual figure. Therefore, he will use the people that are around you to actually instill that spirit of fear and instill the spirit of the spirit that you are not capable. Be very careful of that. Hence, it is actually very important that it's very important that you actually also learn to keep your plans to yourself, because at times when people speak against your plans, or when people have a negative energy against your plans, to be very honest, it's not them. It's just the devil's spirit at that point in time that's making it impossible for them to be happy for you, to be, supportive of you. Therefore, you need to be very careful of, not always sharing your plans, not because everyone is jealous. No. Sometimes, even myself included, sometimes we do get the devil's spirit just dominating us. We do get it. It's just a fact of life. It just happens. And that's why, as a person who's very aware of their emotions and very aware of their thoughts and actions and everything, you need to pray against that spirit. So going back to my point, never let people define you by your background. Never let people tell you how far, how big, how high you should or shouldn't dream because of your background. The minute that people start doing that, and the minute you let them do it, and the minute you actually absorb everything that they are saying and everything that they are, the minute you just let them crush your spirit and crush your plans, you're going to have a serious problem. You're going to have a serious problem because you are going to find yourself living according to the limitations of what those people are saying. When you dream big. Dream as big as you can, so that if that big dream doesn't actually happen, you at least fall somewhere in the middle. Not you allowing yourself. You should never allow yourself to dream small or not to dream at all, because person A and B say that you will never make it. You're not going to be able to achieve certain success because you come from this type of background. There will be people that will remind you, trust you me, as you are trying to come out of the trenches, as you're trying to come out of difficult situations, as you're trying to come out of challenging situations, there will be people who will remind you, not you. I'm telling you. There will be people who will remind you, not you. No, not you. As you're saying, oh, the guy that I want to marry is like this and like that. He's like, mentioning your dream guy. Someone will remind you, not you. How? How will a guy like that like someone like you? You come from this background. Aufundanga. Bashimani bajwala choma, they like women who are educated. Could be true, but it's not up to that person to say. Could be true, but it's not up to that person to say. Therefore, never allow people to belittle your dreams. based on where you come from. Never allow people to disrespect you because you are in an unfortunate position. You know, we see it often. Family gatherings, friend gatherings, where a certain friend or a certain person, because they are in an unfortunate position, because at that point in time they're going through a rough time, because at that point in time izinto zabo azikahlangani, then they start being alienated, or they start being disrespected. Never be part of that club, and never, ever, ever. If you are experiencing that, never allow people to treat you like that. Whereby because at that point in time, you are the one maybe that's not married, or at that point in time, you are the one that doesn't have certain things material-wise, qualification-wise, and then you must be that friend who washes the dishes at an event. Yes, if you want to wash the dishes because you want to wash the dishes, absolutely fine. But do not be made to wash the dishes because wena izinto zakho azikahlangani, or wena ukakabi nemoto, or wena you are the one at the present moment who's not yet shining. Never allow people to treat you according to your circumstances. Never allow people to put you down because of your circumstances. Always, always maintain your dignity, and always hang around people that respect you for who you are, not who you have, and not what you are going through. Because I'll tell you this for free. There are people who will treat you according to how they think you should be treated because of your circumstances, because of your background, because of what you have and do not have at this point in time. Yes, you do not have a car right now. Yes, you do not have a house right now. Yes, you do not have a husband right now. Yes, you do not have kids right now, but that doesn't mean they won't come. It does not mean they won't come. And if you are around people that do not understand that, you are honestly around the wrong people. People that truly care about you, people that like you, people that love you will understand that everything and everyone has their chance to shine. Therefore, never allow people to make you feel like less of a person and strip you of your dignity, because at that point in time, your things have not yet popped. Your things have not yet come to life. Your things have not yet become fruitful. Your things have not yet become visible to the human eye. Never allow people to treat you like dirt because of your circumstances at that point in time. Notice I keep mentioning at that point in time. Imagine, guys, the devil is a liar. Just when I'm doing this video, my eyebrow decides to finish. That is why I keep on doing the same thing over and over, because I'm not satisfied with my arc. However, I'm not going to let the devil steal my shine, because I know you get the idea of what I'm trying to do, how to shape your brows. Back to the topic, never allow people to just disrespect you because at this present moment in time, you are not yet popping. You will pop. Trust me, you will pop. Spoken by someone who's, I don't even know, I've always mentioned that I've been a breadwinner since the age of 17. I bought my first car at, what age was I? 32. I always thought I'd buy my first car at 23. The irony of life. I always thought I'd buy my first car at 23 and I bought it at 32. Look at what God did there. God was like, no, let's turn the numbers around. Let's swap them around. Nonetheless, I bought my first car at 32, and I was extremely fortunate, that I've always had friends who just accepted me for who I was, and vice versa. Of course, no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect, but I've just always been surrounded by really nice people who respected me for who I am, who loved me for who I am, who did not care what I drive, what I do not drive. But a lot of people out there are not in that fortunate position like I was. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, to say to those people, always stand your ground. Always stand your ground. Always, always know who you are, and always, always stick around people that value your worth, that value who you are on the inside. Because cars, clothes, money, everything, all those things, those are just external things. But when we truly love and care for people, we love and care for them without those things. The things that they have just become a bonus. You know what I mean? The things that people have just become a bonus. Therefore, Never stick with people that want to bring you down because of what you have or do not have. Never stick with people that want to remind you, phela wena phela uyazihluphekela. So how are you going to have a choice about what you want to eat? Never, ever, ever stick around people who will invite you somewhere, and then because you're going through a certain situation, because you're not yet working, because your life is not yet popping, they then decide what you must have on the menu. You must never do that. And to you guys who are in the fortunate position of being okay, who are in a position of being able to afford, whose things are popping, never remind your friends how disadvantaged or unfortunate they are at that present moment in time. Rather not help your friend at all if you're going to help your friend with the energy of reminding them that they are not, in a fortunate position. Abo, phela wena chomi, situation yako. Don't do that to people. Never ever do that to people. If you help your friend with dignity, with class, with respect, with everything that they deserve. If you feel you can't do that, rather let them stay at home. Do not invite your friend who's going through a rough patch so that you can make it known which you are helping this person. To you who's going through a rough patch, to you who hasn't yet bought a car, to you who hasn't yet, whose life hasn't yet come together, to you whose things are not yet clear as to what is happening, what's going on, keep your dignity. Stick with people that know your value. Stick with people that know that one day we're gonna sharp and we are gonna be all fine. For now, things are not okay, but it doesn't mean it will always be like that. Stick with those people. And if you can't find those people, stick with Jesus. Yes, I said it. Stick with Jesus. Because your things are not always gonna be that way. You are not always going to stay single. You're not always going to stay childless. You're not always going to stay houseless. You're not always going to stay qualificationless. You're not always going to stay, what can I say, anything less. Your time will come. The sun does shine for all of us. Right now, as we speak, it is nighttime somewhere in some country, and it is daytime here. And when it is nighttime in that country, it will be, and when it is daytime in that country, it will be nighttime here. That's how the world works. So never let people define you by your background. Keep your dignity, keep your respect, keep your power through and through. Let's stay BeauMovated. Let's stay beautiful on the inside out. Remember, whatever it is that you are on the inside will shine on the outside. Therefore, always keep working on yourself and always hold your head up high. Always, no matter life always hold your head up high, because you know what? The sun does shine. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, to tell your friends and their friends and their friends about this channel, so that we can all be BeauMovated to shine from the inside out. Thank you.